their 79 points from inside. They have a decided height advantage, and they can use that in this road game here today to get an early lead.
They need to, and Kevin Larson's going to be the guy that paces them inside, folks. Number 21 in the dark jersey, leads the team in double-doubles, second in the league, 10 of those a game. He has to show up today for them to get a win on the road.
Davidson looking to score first here. Jordan Barham swinging it around. Shot clock now down to 6, and the pull-up by Sullivan. Senior day. It is the senior Sullivan who gets Davidson on the board with the early 2-0 advantage.
That's so huge. I can't overstate that. Just for the first shot to go in on senior night, get that out of your mind and try to make this feel like a normal game. It isn't one, but you got to get that first shot. It helps you a little bit.
George Washington attacking the glass, and the game's first foul. There'll be a pair of free throws coming up for Joe McDonald.
And see, they're icing the ball screen, not allowing Sullivan to use it, so they're forcing him baseline. Good step back by a good player. That's what he can do. He can create off the dribble for himself and his teammates.
Brian Sullivan on the foul for Davidson. And Joe McDonald at the free throw line now. Interesting to know that both of these teams played earlier this week. GW beat George Mason at home. Davidson lost on the road to VCU. And in their respective games, both Davidson and George Washington were a collective 20 of 20 from the free throw line. Each team 10 for 10.
Yeah, they're both great free throw shooting teams. Davidson 10th in the country. GW in the top 25 in the country as well.
They're tied at 2, 1 minute in here at the Belk Arena in Davidson, North Carolina. Ekwu almost lost it, but it comes to Aldridge. Now Jack Gibbs at the top.
So Yuta Watanabe, the sophomore, on a lot of length. That's a big shot. Tyler Kavanaugh has to be able to step out on Peyton Aldridge. He's a good shooter. You have to play him shoot first.
Aldridge with the game's first three-point basket. Second leading scorer on this Davidson team. Watanabe couldn't get it to fall, and Aldridge is there with the defensive rebound.
Shot fake, go into the defender, create the contact, get to the free throw line.
Davidson has lost 2 in a row after winning 3 straight, 5 of 6. First time they've missed here this afternoon. GW quickly into the front court, and Patricio Guarino going right inside, blocked by Aldridge. Now Larson the 3. Kevin Larson hits the Colonials' first three-point basket, and we're even at 5 apiece.
It's one thing you'll see in this game. Every big is skilled. Every one of them hit 3.
And Jack Gibbs with his first 2, leading the A-10 conference in scoring this season, averaging 25 per game.
Transition defense is a big key. That was just too easy. He was able to get to 17 feet, pull up. Too easy. Got to step out and address him about 30 feet from the hoop.
Patricio Guarino uncontested as he lays it up and in. This Davidson team, top scoring squad in the A-10, but last in defense this season. Sullivan banks it in, leaning away. Tough shot, but a good start for the senior Brian Sullivan.
Yeah, GW's got to lock in right now. Davidson's getting to every point on the floor they want. Now, GW's doing the same thing on the other end, but you can't do, this is a tempo that Davidson wants to play.
There's Larson spinning down low, and then he lays it up and in.
Good extra pivot there, and that's what they need to do. Get touches inside, out, and there's a good advantage. Larson get on the board early.
Jack Gibbs, the pull-up. But tipped over to Sullivan, and a fresh 30 on the shot clock. 3 minutes deep here in this first half. Tied at 9. The floater by Barham, and he rounds them home.
Now, usually Mike Lonergan would mix in a zone, but you can't really zone this Davidson team. It's really tough. If they go to their 1-3-1, a lot of guys can shoot in white, and then you open up even easier opportunities, but their man-to-man right now is getting eaten alive.
GW comes into this game with some momentum. They've won 4 of their last 5, and all of those by double digits. And Larson, jump ball called as he went up, and the arrow keeps it with the Colonials here. As Rusty Regal checks in for Nathan Ekwu for Davidson.
Nice job by Ekwu to keep his hands high, slide his feet. Good D. And he's going to need to show up. They're going to need to, they'll double at times, they'll foot fake it guys. They're going to make Larson feel pressure because Bob McKillop knows that there's an advantage there for their bigs, but that's just good one-on-one D.
Off the inbound, lost out of bounds by Tyler Kavanaugh of GW, so it goes over to the Wildcats. Now in their win over George Mason earlier this week, the Colonials took really good care of the basketball, only 5 turnovers in that entire game. They've been playing a more clean game overall these last couple of weeks. Gibbs off the screen for three. 2 misses in a row for the junior Jack Gibbs.
He went under that handoff, though. That's dangerous. That's an automatic shot for Gibbs, and he's going to hit that at least 50% of the time.
Jumper from the corner by Kavanaugh wouldn't fall, and Watanabe, the foul on the rebound.
They're saying he stepped out.
Oh, he stepped out of bounds, as a matter of fact. So
I think it was a foul, though.
Looked
He
like
wasn't
a
over
foul.
the back.
Well, either way, it goes over to Davidson here.
But that's a huge key to this game, too. GW leads the conference in offensive rebound percentage. They get nearly 34% of their misses. Davidson last in the league in terms of defensive rebound percentage. Excuse me, 11th in the league at 14.
Now Sullivan coming up short on the three. Kavanaugh, the rebound, and GW on the move. Side to Larson against the double team. He kicks it back out. Now Garino lining up the three, and he rattles it through. Patricio Garino leading the conference in three-point baskets this season.
Exactly, read my mind at 45%, and that was really just, that's when he does it. Catch and shoot, takes his time, and if you press up on him, that's where his game really takes off. When he goes by you, he can finish around the rim in a variety of moves.
Davidson off to the early quick start. Now GW the 1-point lead as we close in on 5 minutes deep here in the first half. Turn around by McAuliffe. And another missed opportunity for Davidson. Now Kavanaugh. Jack Gibbs plays it back out. Another screen for Gibbs, maybe partially blocked, I think, by Watanabe. Altered the trajectory of the shot.
Where his length comes in. He's got about 4 or 5 inches on Gibbs, and he's got long arms, Watanabe does.
And that's an offensive foul against Joe McDonald, the senior from Virginia. So first personal foul on Joe McDonald. Patricio Garino with his first 3 of the afternoon, and GW by 1.
Yeah. Thank you.
College basketball on NBCSN is brought to you by U.S. Bank. 1-point game here in Davidson, North Carolina on Senior Day. Brian Sullivan, the senior from Upper Arlington, Ohio. One of 4 seniors honored before the game, a transfer from Miami, where back as a freshman, he led the MAC in 3-point shooting, but made his mark here in Davidson, North Carolina, was the first player out for warm-ups earlier today.
Yeah, you see him trying to soak it all in that last time around, and obviously he was emotional. Barham, all the guys were. It's one of the few times as an athlete you're totally cognizant of the situation around you, and that's like the last thing you want. You want to not think about anything, you want to think about the game and focus, but you can't help but get caught up in the emotion of it. But they've handled it really well. You've seen teams all the time come out on senior day and really struggle. Their offense is clicking, their defense has forced some decent turnovers at times. Remember, they are probably the worst defensive team in this league, but they've really managed the emotions of the day pretty well so far.
Well, it's at the end of the regular season. Everybody is looking ahead to the possibilities for the postseason. So it's just that momentary reprieve where you can kind of reflect back on the past before you have to look ahead. Peyton Aldridge spins and hits.
Nice job by the sophomore. Gets good post position. He's got good moves. Very skilled guy. Not big though. You see, he wasn't using there's not a power game inside of finesse game. Trying to jam it inside, trying to get Kavanaugh. He's got Aldridge on him, but he can't get a touch.
Now Tyler Kavanaugh, and he hits from just beyond the free throw line. Kavanaugh from Syracuse, New York, had 16 points in the first meeting between these two teams. Good
possession by the Colonials, trying to get it inside, and they went high-low, and Aldridge really didn't track Kavanaugh up there. And Kavanaugh, again, these bigs are skilled. A lot of them on the floor are very skilled players. That 17-footer from Kavanaugh, good shot for them.
They go back and forth here in this first half. Now good backdoor to Oscar Mickelson, who gets his first two of the game. The sophomore from Helsinki, Finland, who's played for the Finnish national team.
Patricio Garino, really good defender, two-time all-league defender, but fell asleep there and allowed Mickelson to backcut. Yeah, it's happened a lot this year. He kind of lost focus at times defensively, and he's had lapses. He was one of the best defensive players in this league for the last couple seasons.
Coach Mike Lonergan told me that's been one of the biggest deficiencies of this GW team, is their mental weakness on defense, as Kavanaugh gets his second bucket of this first half here. But Lonergan has been very honest about his team that sometimes they take possessions off. They don't play with the type of mental intensity that they need to every possession on defense.
And that's what you don't expect from the senior-laden team, as we talked about. A bunch of seniors, Kavanaugh's a redshirt junior. I mean, you got guys that logged a lot of minutes, but at times they go to sleep at the wheel.
Mickelson on the miss from three.
Larson's got to work harder here. That should have been an entry pass. He should have been playing off of him.
And he gets it inside on the miss, tipped around, and Mickelson comes away, and then almost gave it away, but he's fouled by Garino of GW.
That second repost was better by Larson. He really sat on Ekwu deep under the post, but didn't feel comfortable with his left hand. See, Garino just lost sight of what did stay ball you man. Mickelson cuts right to the hoop. Easy layup.
So Patricio Garino sits down. Mickelson also comes out for Davidson here. The Wildcats trailing by one, and 12 minutes left to play here in our first half. The final regular season game for each team. Final day of the A-10 season overall. The conference tournament coming up later next week in Brooklyn. As Sullivan hits and is fouled for the Wildcats.
That's what's going to frustrate Mike Lonergan. It's the basics of their offense. Coming off ball screens, coming off handoffs, back cuts. Jorgensen runs into it. Larson, no help. And then you compound the problem by fouling. Wildcats are up one.
A Davidson cheerleader.
Pretty good. That's pretty crazy. That's so insane.
So Dellen out of break, right?
Yep.
Fans, be sure to visit the Davidson College store in the upstairs lobby. From now until March 12th, show your Wildcat pride and get 20% off merchandise at their spring sale. Sale is available today at the stand and at the Davidson College store, as well as at davidsoncollegestore.com using the promo code SPRING.
Back here at Davidson, where they lead by 1 over George Washington. It's March, so of course we're talking about tournament resumes. We're talking about bubble teams, and GW is firmly planted on that bubble. Take a look at their resume, folks. RPI 60 versus the top 50, 3-5. Remember, they lost at home to VCU. Would have been a big win for them. Top 50 RPI win. They do have good wins, though. They beat Virginia at home. Seton Hall continues to put up good numbers. They had that road win at VCU, but St. Louis and DePaul road losses. The problem right now for them is if they can win this game, this would be a road top 100 win. That's good. Then you go into the tournament. They're going to be the 5th seed no matter what. So they get to play one of the top 4 teams, which is another top 50 opportunity game. I think they got to win at least 2 games in the tournament and today to be an at-large team. Of course, they can punch their ticket by winning it all in Brooklyn, but that's not going to be easy.
Ryan Sullivan hitting the free throw. Andrew McAuliffe now back in for the Wildcats. And something Mike Lonergan told me yesterday, maybe even more than just what it does for their tournament hopes. He wants GW to win this game today so they go into the A-10 tournament with some confidence, with some momentum. You don't want to come off a loss at the end of the year and then go into the tournament doubting yourself, because then you're compromised in needing to win there in order to make the NCAA field.
That's a very good point. I mean, momentum and confidence is huge. That's what tournament is all about. It's who gets hottest, who wins a tournament play. Nice job by Joe McDonald, stopping the ball there and making Jack Gibbs retreat.
Sullivan, game-high scorer right now with 7 points. McAuliffe backing in on Larson. And there's going to be a foul. It's going to be against McAuliffe.
That was a terrific defensive possession by Joe McDonald. From the moment when he attacked the ball and stopped it in transition to getting over screens on Jack Gibbs, and then at the right moment when McAuliffe lost sight of him to go pick his pocket from behind. That's a senior leading by example on the defensive end.
There's the first personal foul on Andrew McAuliffe, a junior from Northbrook, Illinois. 11 minutes left to go, first half. It's been a close one throughout. Now Mantola, out for Larson. McDonald. No second chance that time for GW. Well, they are leading in second chance points early on here over Davidson. McAuliffe spinning around Larson, and it falls. First bucket of the day for McAuliffe. Matt Hart, long 3. And GW, 3 of 5 from 3-point range.
Nice execution by both teams on those last 2 possessions.
That's going to be a foul. 10-15 left to go in the half. Joe McDonald picking up his second personal foul.
Nice screen by Kavanaugh. Regal gets caught up in it just a little bit. No help from the Wildcats. Hart can do that. 1,000-point scorer. Hamilton College. You got 5,000-point scores. Alex Mantola scored over 1,000 at Dartmouth before transferring to GW here as a grad transfer. And obviously the 3 seniors, McDonald, Larson, and Garino.
And McDonald coming out with those 2 personal fouls for the Colonials.
And now they put Garino on to Jack Gibbs. They keep rotating different guys on him, but the length of Garino and what they're helping can help affect Gibbs' jump shot.
Wildcats 4 of their last 5 from the floor. As Peyton Aldridge pulls up, can't connect, gets the rebound, and now Sullivan lining up the 3. The Wildcats extending their lead, largest margin of the first half as we go over the midpoint of our first half of play.
Best time to shoot a 3 off an offensive rebound. Good hustle by the Wildcats. They didn't get that opportunity.
And now a turnover. Sullivan leading the charge back the other direction. Davidson now with 3-point baskets in 699 consecutive games as a program. And it's going to be a foul on Tyler Kavanaugh.
See, good hustle here. McAuliffe keeps it alive. Aldridge cleans it up. Larson tries to get out there, but just too late. Sullivan's feeling it on senior day. You love seeing a kid in his last chance to play in front of his home fans really show out. He's come out high.
5 team fouls on GW. They trail by 4. Rusty Regal now back into the game. Jordan Watkins on the bench for Davidson. Sullivan gets in the lane. High arching shot won't go down for him, and here's Matola. Long outlet for Garino. Watanabe, good look to find Larson down low.
Larson looks at once a foul. I think he has a bit of a gripe there, but that was a nice job of getting into the teeth of the defense and interior passing.
And it's going to be a foul on Garino. His second personal.
Watanabe, a little pick and roll game here. He drives hard in the lane. Really bad pick and roll defense by Davidson. They didn't know what they were doing. If you're going to go over the top, you got to have a hard hedge, make the guy retreat. There was really none of that. They lived in this middle ground, leaving them to dictate to the defense what was going to happen.
Watanabe, the sophomore from Japan, and 13 points, 6 rebounds in the home game versus Davidson about a month ago for GW. 2-point affair right now. Gibbs against Garino, and Larson the rebound. Garino splitting defenders, blocked by Aldridge, out of bounds, and stays with the Colonials. As Garino is going to come out and Matt Hart back in for the Colonials here with 8:30 to go in the half.
Defensively, though, interesting unit right now. When you don't have McDonald in the game, so you have Hart and Matola. These are your two weakest defenders at the guard spot. Arguably the best backcourt in the league here. Big shot there by Kavanaugh.
Tyler Kavanaugh, very steady scorer all season long. Now half a dozen here in this opening half for GW.
Hart's on Sullivan now. He's going to have to work hard to not let Sullivan get easy looks. That's a lazy pass.
As Sullivan tried to find Peyton Aldridge, Matola leading the break the other way, and Watanabe on the finish, and GW back in front with 8 minutes to go.
Never enter the ball from the top of the key with a direct pass. That's almost never going to happen.
6-0 run for George Washington. Aldridge against the double team. Own rebound and the follow.
You said the word. You're right. They doubled up there, and then both guys just shut it down and let him go right by them for the offensive rebound.
Are you surprised that the bigs of GW just aren't more dominant, not just in this game, but all season long?
Well, that's been their problem. It's inconsistency. They have the talent, it just sometimes it's not there. That was a great shot. And Watanabe needs to continue to do that. He was a hallmark of his game as his freshman year. He struggled through most of the league season shooting threes in the mid-20%, but as of late, he started to knock a few down, and his confidence started to come back.
His first three-point basket of the day. GW over 50% from beyond the arc so far in this first half. Sullivan, the no-look pass to Ekwu, but he traveled. Now Davidson has stumbled here in the last few minutes, and GW has come alive. 4 of 6 from three-point range with Yuta Watanabe, the latest triple to give them a 3-point lead.
A biology major from Gastonia, North Carolina.
What's up?
Supported by John and J.R. Kelsey is a year senior. Our next senior is Jackie Shue, a psychology major from Cornelius, North Carolina. She's escorted by Daniele Senatore and Jeanette Steyer. Jackie is a 3-year cheerleader. And our final cheer senior is Lee Summerall, an art history major from Greensboro, North Carolina.
What are points in the paint? Can you give me points in the paint? Points in the paint. Yeah, I got it. Yep, I got it. 6. Yep, got it. I got it. Thank you. Yep, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good, thank you. GW with a 3-point lead on Davidson and 7 minutes left to go in the first half from the Belk Arena.
Yeah, the strength of this team is inside, but they can knock down threes. They only make over 6 a game. That's 12th in the league, but we've seen it in the recent weeks, particularly LaSalle. 2 weeks ago, they put up double digits of threes in the first half. They won by 40. When they start knocking down threes and really stretch the defense, that can help them put the ball inside and take advantage of their size. Only 8-6 right now in points in the paint. That number has to go up, and they also have got to crash the offensive glass better. 4 offensive rebounds to this point, but again, they are first in the league in offensive rebound percentage. Davidson 11th in the league in defensive rebound percentage.
Right now the Colonials with 4 3-pointers from 4 different players. They did not shoot the 3 well in their first meeting with Davidson, but the 3-point shooting now has the Colonials out to a 9-2 run that's given them a 3-point edge. There's Matt Hart driving baseline, draws the double team. Matola faking the shot, and then he hits. Alex Matola, the graduate student who got his first ever start this past Tuesday in the win over George Mason. Largest lead for the Colonials here, up by 5. Gibbs trying to put a dent in that, and he does with a 3. First 3-point basket of the day for Jack Gibbs.
That was just good execution coming off a flare screen. And Watanabe steps slow. He's got to read it, you got to see it, you got to react quicker.
Kavanaugh splits the defense with a pass. Larson missed the shot, had it blocked again, and it's off Larson and over to Davidson.
Their interior passing has been good. Some of their finishing around the hoop needs some work. Larson missed that little left-handed bunny earlier. This time, I think he got fouled, but they didn't call it. He's got to be tough. They've not called these things inside through the first course of these 15 minutes. He has to know that. Maybe use a shot fake, get into guys' bodies, but the refs are not going to bail him out.
I thought he was fouled twice.
Well, there you go. So did he.
Here's Gibbs coming up short, and Larson this time the rebound. Watanabe, yeah, maybe got away with taking steps.
They need to get a touch inside, play inside out here.
Matola handling things out high. Transfer from Dartmouth. Set a school record his freshman year at Dartmouth in 3-point shooting, but loses the handle here to Jack Gibbs, who throws it up, gets the basket and the foul. Oh, wow. What a shot by the junior Gibbs.
Touch there. He was on a dead run, help coming, able to take the hit. And he's pushing out in front. That is a dead sprint. Gets his arm hacked off, but just flips it with that Steph Curry English, we'll call it, off the backboard, soft, into the bottom.
No look off glass, and he completes the 3-point play. Jack Gibbs, slow start, but now coming alive, 8 points on the day. Behind only his teammate Brian Sullivan. On the afternoon, Sullivan the game high score to this point with 10, the only player in double figures for either team. 5 minutes left to go first half. And it's going to be a foul on Watkins. Jordan Watkins thought he had the steal.
Phillips upset. Rightfully so. I'm not sure there was a lot of contact before the ball was already really turned over. That's back-to-back possessions where GW looks really uneasy right now. They got to settle in and get a good touch inside, I think.
First personal foul on Watkins. Only the 3rd team foul on the Wildcats overall, though. Just south of 5 minutes left to go first half. 1-point game, and we've already had 8 lead changes here in this first half.
It's one thing when you give a Davidson game, it's going to be entertaining. There's going to be points. The other team's got to usually match it, especially when they play here in North Carolina.
Had a couple of times where it looked like both teams were about to go on a run, but it's been quickly snuffed out by the other squad. Larson had trouble handling it, and looks like they're going to get Nathan Ekwul on the foul for Davidson.
Number 1, Nathan Ekwul. His second, fourth on the team.
His second personal foul is Matt Hart. And Jordan Rowland come back in for GW, and Andrew McAuliffe coming in now for Davidson. Watanabe spinning inside. Good left-hand finish.
If he adds that to his game consistently, he's going to be a really tough guard.
Mike Lonergan said big problem for him this season, just inconsistent scoring. He could be a force offensively, but it just hasn't been on a regular basis.
I think most of that was because he really struggled with his confidence to shoot threes. That really affected the rest of his offensive arsenal.
Shot clock down to 5. Rusty Regal for Watkins, and a turnover. Here comes GW, led by Watanabe, the basket and the foul. And Watanabe, back-to-back strong offensive sequence for the sophomore from Japan.
Brian Sullivan's mad at himself right away, and he should be, because he fouled Watanabe but didn't get enough of him to knock off the shot. He got the and one. Here's the pretty spin move past Rusty Regal, and here Sullivan knows he got him, but he's upset because if you're going to do it, you've got to really be clean, but physical, and take out his arms. Do not allow him to get an and one.
So now to try and complete the three-point play, Watanabe at the free throw line as Alex Matola clocks back in for GW. Watanabe, the 4th Japanese-born player to play Division I college basketball. He comes from a basketball family. His sister played in Japan. Both of his parents played in the top Japanese league. So it was a natural for him. And now making a statement here at GW and having a good afternoon. First Colonial into double figures with 10 points on the day.
Freshman Jordan Rowland going to see some time on Jack Gibbs. Nice job there. Well, he didn't know much about it, but it worked out for turnover.
Turnover by Davidson. Wildcats stumbling down the stretch here late in this first half as GW leads by 4. You're just showing that map to see that there's no good way for me to get from there to Stanford and back.
Unless you can chop her in.
Atlantic 10 teams head to the Barclays Center for the conference championship and a shot at automatic entry into the NCAA tournament. Coverage of the second round of the A10 basketball championship begins Thursday at 12 Eastern on NBCSN. And Davidson now knows they will be the 6th seed in the conference tournament. That's because Fordham has beaten Rhode Island today. And because of that, Davidson now clinches the 6th seed, meaning that they will play at 9 p.m. on Thursday in the second round versus the winner of the 11-14 seeded game that will be on Wednesday. GW, the only seed to have clinched coming into today, and they are the 5 seed. They'll play at 2:30 p.m. on Thursday in the second round.
That tournament's going to be great. There are 5 or 6, 7 teams that can win that tournament very wide open.
Inside to Larson. Shot clock now in single digits. And Larson couldn't find the handle. Out of bounds over to Davidson. 4-point lead for the Colonials, and coming up at the half, Carolyn Mano is back in our college basketball studio. Have a look at the Spartans and the LSU-Kentucky showdown in the SEC. That's all coming up shortly. Just over 3 to go first half as Jack Gibbs hits another for Davidson, bringing them to within 2.
I don't know how long Mike Launer can go with this group. Now, you know, Garino and McDonald have 2 fouls. He's not going to put them back in, but Watanabe needs a quick blow, get him back in, because you've got a very weak 1 through 3 defensively. Jordan Rowland, a freshman, just got abused in that last possession.
Kavanaugh hitting over Aldridge.
No knock against Rowland. You're playing one of the best offensive guards in the entire country as a freshman. That is not easy to do, and right now Gibbs has it under pretty good control.
Behind the back for Sullivan. Jordan Watkins, deep 3. Pops up and falls in. Jordan Watkins with his first 3 of the day.
That's what happens here in Bell. When they get those rolls, man, they make almost 10 threes a game.
Aldridge the rebound for the Wildcats. Trailing by 1 as Gibbs is going to take it all the way and gets the bank and the basket.
Transition D is critical. You've got to find a way. Rowland's got to flatten Gibbs out up around the 3-point line. Once he gets a full head of steam and he's at 15 feet, you are dead in the water.
And timeout taken by GW. Jack Gibbs, now the top scorer in the game with 12 points. Jordan Watkins also getting his first 3-point basket. But Gibbs now with his 25th double-figure scoring game of the season so far. Quick peek at the A10 RPI rankings, which become a big factor at this point in the season.
This is huge. Again, GW could get a road top 100 win, which is good. And then when you go to the tournament, VCU and Dayton play tonight for the opportunity to, VCU could win the tournament, win the league outright. But either way, they're going to have an opportunity in that second game. If they win their first game, GW, to get another top 50 RPI win, they need that.
Shot clock down to 8. Kavanaugh lifting it over Aldridge. Tyler Kavanaugh now into double figures himself with 10 points on the day.
Last 2 possessions out of timeouts, they got touches inside. The first one, they didn't handle it very well, and they ended up turning over. That was a nice executed play out of the break.
Aldridge spinning a couple of different times before he hits the basket. Well, now we've had 7 ties, 12 lead changes here in this first half of play as we come up on the final minute. Back and forth at the Belk Arena. Now Matt Hart, and the rebound to Watkins. Inside the final minute of play, first half. Peyton Aldridge, wide open, McCullen. Big finish as the Wildcats extend the lead.
All set up by Aldridge. Back-to-back great possessions where he showed his skill level to finish and his skill level to set up his teammate.
Jordan Rowland. And McCall up the rebound. And a difference of about 45 seconds. Shot clock to game clock. Half a minute to go, first half. Davidson looking to take the lead to the locker room. Wildcats looking for their 10th conference win of the season. Sullivan with 3 on the shot clock. Aldridge, long 3. Rebound to Larson. 3 seconds to go in the half. Hart gonna launch it from distance. And we played 20 in Davidson with the home team leading by 3. The Wildcats putting 2 players in double figures.